we can go to the next slide. We should be on reaching the consumer, innovative advertisers. So not only is it a challenge for us to engage the consumer, but it is for advertisers. And we find some of our biggest advertising partners are struggling with this. How do we engage consumers when they are so distracted? But what they have going for them is a marketplace that is providing them with a lot of the new. And this first example is something that taps into user-generated content, which is a big catchphrase right now, but is really changing things. And this first campaign I'm going to show you, there's some hopefully not too shocking words in there, but it is created by Chevy Tahoe, and they went out on the web and gave people the chance to make a Chevy commercial for themselves. And they put clips of Chevys driving down country roads. They gave headlines and taglines. They gave music examples to choose from, and they put it out there on the web to see what people would do. I think they knew people would get playful with it. I think they knew people would, I know they knew this because we've spoken to them, that people would do things that were not so nice with it, but they were willing to take that gamble. What happened is people went in and hacked the website. So in addition to the choices that Chevy Tahoe gave them, they made their own choices. And I'll show you 3 slides that have some of these on there, and then I'll talk about it for a second. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see a slide that says these are 2 versions. These are stills from the video movies that users came up with. And it said, well, if you buy a Chevy Tahoe, you'll help global warming. Think about what you've destroyed. If we go to the next slide, it began to get a little even more off color. Enjoy the longer summers, implying global warming. Because you suffer from a certain type of envy. If you go to the next slide, it gets even tougher. And you see these examples here, and you would say, oh my gosh, for those of you out there creating advertising for your clients, that this is a disaster. But it wasn't a disaster. They let this go on, and I think rightly, instead of shutting down the website when this started to happen, let people do this. They started putting this out on YouTube, and it spread the word. And looking back on it, they found that it actually did an amazing thing for an American car company. Was it made them kind of cool. And they looked at sales of the Tahoe over this time period, and sales were up. So overall, they were very happy with this, and I think you have to admire them for having the guts to go for it. And the reality is now, you can't control your brand as much as you used to. The user is out there, the user has a very loud voice. So the old days of completely crafting a message and as a corporation, and that message was the only one that got out there, those days are over. The user is going to have a loud voice. So you better be honest, and you better be realistic with yourselves and with your customer. And I think Chevy was here.